What if I told you we could, like, live through the next century of progress
Right.
in just the next decade?
Right.
That's the idea behind what AI researcher Dario Amodei calls the compressed 21st century.
And here's why this particular prediction is so intriguing.
Right.
Amodei isn't your typical Silicon Valley tech optimist.
Right.
He's both a biologist and an AI expert
Okay.
who runs Anthropic,
Yeah.
a company known for its focus on AI risks,
Right.
not utopian promises.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not known for sugarcoating things.
No.
So when Amodei says powerful AI could deliver the next 50 to 100 years of breakthroughs in just 5 to 10, it's not just hype.
Right.
It's him saying, hold on, things are about to get really wild.
And powerful AI in Amodei's world
Right.
isn't some vague concept.
Okay.
He's talking about AI with genius-level intellect across multiple fields,
Oh, wow.
not just one party trick.
Okay.
Think about a team of the world's brightest minds,
Okay.
all working together in a data center, designing experiments,
Yeah.
inventing tools,
Wow.
essentially operating
Yeah,
as
like,
you superpowered.
It's like having a country of geniuses in a data center, as he puts it.
Yes.
Which, honestly,
Good way to put it.
doesn't sound that far-fetched anymore.
It really doesn't.
The big question is,
Yeah.
how does this actually play out
Yeah.
in the real world?
Mhm.
Where do we see the most radical upside?
Well, Amodei points to biology and health
Okay.
as being ripe for this kind of AI acceleration.
Interesting.
And this is where his dual background as both a biologist and an AI expert
Yeah.
is so insightful.
Yeah.
He understands the pace of scientific discovery,
Okay.
how it often hinges on these rare, groundbreaking
Yeah. Aha.
moments.
The aha moment.
Think about CRISPR, for example.
Right. That completely revolutionized gene editing.
Exactly.
And it's not hard to imagine how
Yeah.
AI could help us uncover
Yeah,
those kinds of breakthroughs even faster.
exactly.
Yeah.
AI can analyze massive data sets, identify hidden patterns,
Yeah.
even design and run experiments
Wow.
at a pace we could only dream of.
Yeah.
Amodei's argument is that AI isn't magic,
Right.
but it can drastically compress the timeline
Okay.
from eureka moment
Yeah.
to real-world impact.
Okay, so it's not like AI is going to magically cure cancer overnight. There are still limitations, right?
Of course.
Experiments take time.
Yes.
And we're still bound by the laws of physics.
Amodei isn't saying we can defy the laws of nature,
Okay.
but what he's saying
Yeah.
is that we can drastically accelerate the pace of discovery.
Okay.
Imagine a world
Okay.
where instead of taking 50 years to achieve a breakthrough,
Right.
it takes 5.
Wow.
That's the kind of compression he's talking about.
So what does that actually look like for someone like you or me?
Right.
What changes in a world where the pace of progress is 10 times faster?
Think about it this way.
Okay.
In this compressed 21st century,
Yeah.
diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, even inherited genetic conditions
Oh, wow.
that could largely be problems of the past,
Okay.
not just within our children's lifetime,
Yeah.
but potentially within ours.
Wow. That's not just a medical marvel.
Right.
That's a complete societal game changer.
It really is.
And get this,
Yeah,
Amodei even suggests that we could double the human lifespan again,
it's true.
based on the progress we've already made.
Yeah, it's a mind-boggling concept with huge implications.
Right.
Imagine the impact on everything, from family structures to retirement plans,
Wow.
not to mention the ethical and philosophical questions it raises.
Right. And it's not just about living longer, it's about living better.
Exactly.
Amodei talks about this incredible potential for AI to revolutionize not just our physical health,
Right.
but also our mental well-being.
Exactly. He sees the compressed 21st happening for the mind too,
Interesting.
not just the body.
Okay.
And this is where recent advancements in something called AI interpretability come into play.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm not familiar with that term.
Okay, sure. Right.
What exactly AI interpretability
Yeah.
and how does it relate to our minds?
So in simple terms,
Mhm.
AI interpretability is about understanding how AI thinks,
Okay.
not just what it produces.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Imagine having a window into the decision-making process
Mm-hmm.
of a brilliant scientist.
Okay.
Now apply that to AI.
Interesting.
By understanding how AI arrives at its conclusions,
Right.
we can potentially unlock secrets of the human brain
Okay.
far more quickly.
So it's almost like AI is holding up a mirror to our own minds,
That's a great way to put it.
helping us understand ourselves better in the process.
Precisely. And this deeper understanding could have profound implications for mental health.
Okay.
Amodei is very clear that he sees mental well-being
Yeah.
as being just as crucial as physical health, if not more so.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. We're talking about tackling things like depression, anxiety addiction, even personality disorders with the same urgency and resources that we currently direct towards cancer or heart disease.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amodei's vision is to address these issues not just by treating symptoms, but by understanding and potentially addressing the root causes.
Okay.
And he sees AI as a key driver of that revolution.
So how does he see that unfolding? How does AI actually help us achieve this mental health revolution?
Amodei lays out like 4 main avenues
Okay.
where AI could make a huge difference.
Okay.
First, imagine AI accelerating the development of new medications
Okay.
and genetic therapies, fine-tuned to an individual's brain chemistry.
It's like personalized medicine, but for the mind.
Exactly.
No more trial and error with antidepressants. It's about getting the right treatment from the get-go.
Exactly. Second, Amodei talks about AI enabling incredibly precise interventions in the brain. And we're not talking about crude surgery here.
Right.
Think about using AI to target specific neural pathways, potentially addressing conditions like Parkinson's or even severe OCD at their root.
It's like having a microscopic repair crew for the brain,
Yes.
guided by AI to fix things with incredible accuracy.
That's a great way to put it.
What's fascinating is how Amodei connects this. Not just to fixing what's broken, but to potentially enhancing our mental experience.
That's right. He doesn't shy away from that idea.
Okay.
His third avenue is all about AI helping us build incredibly accurate computational models of how our minds work. Imagine using these models to not only understand conditions like autism or schizophrenia better, but to develop personalized learning plans that optimize how we learn and create.
So instead of just treating deficits, we're talking about using AI to unlock our full cognitive potential.
I like that way of putting it.
That's incredibly exciting, but also a little daunting. What about the ethical implications of all this?
So that's something Amodei addresses head on.
Okay.
He doesn't pretend these advancements won't come with tough questions. But he argues that the potential benefits, particularly in alleviating suffering, are too great to ignore. And his fourth avenue is perhaps the most accessible AI-powered therapy available to everyone. Not just those who can afford traditional therapy.
That's huge. Imagine a world where everyone has access to affordable, effective mental health care.
It's a powerful idea.
Tailored to their unique needs. That could be a true game changer for global well-being.
And that brings us to another crucial aspect of Amodei's vision. The impact of this compressed 21st century on global inequality. He's very clear that while AI has the potential to lift billions out of poverty, it requires intentional effort.
Because technology itself is neutral.
Exactly.
It's how we choose to develop it and deploy it.
That's right.
That will determine whether it benefits everyone or just widens the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
Precisely.
Okay.
And Amodei sees this playing out on several levels. First, there's the issue of distributing those incredible health advances we talked about. Think about the eradication of smallpox, a disease that once ravaged entire populations. With AI-powered strategies and logistics, we could do the same for diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, and even common parasitic infections that disproportionately affect developing countries.
It's like a global health initiative, but supercharged by AI.
Exactly.
And with AI optimizing distribution networks, even the most remote communities could benefit from these breakthroughs.
Absolutely. Amodei also talks about AI's potential to ignite a second green revolution. Imagine AI optimizing crop yields, developing drought-resistant seeds, and revolutionizing food production and distribution. You're talking about tackling hunger on a global scale. Not just increasing profits for a select few.
That's a powerful vision. But let's be realistic for a moment. We've seen how technology can sometimes exacerbate existing inequalities, even with the best of intentions.
Of course.
What about access to these advancements within developed countries? How do we ensure that everyone benefits, not just a wealthy elite?
Amodei acknowledges that this is a valid concern. He's not naive about the potential for AI to be used for profit over people.
Okay.
But he argues that, at least in democratic societies, market forces combined with citizen demand will drive down costs and increase access over time.
Okay.
Think about how quickly cell phones went from luxury items to being practically ubiquitous.
That's a good point. It seemed like almost overnight, everyone and their grandmother had a smartphone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about the technology becoming cheaper.
Right.
It was also about people recognizing the value.
Exactly.
Demanding to be connected.
Yes.
So you're saying a similar dynamic could play out?
That's right.
With these AI-powered advancements.
Exactly. As people experience the transformative power of these technologies.
Right.
Whether it's a life-saving medical treatment.
Okay.
Or personalized education that unlocks a child's full potential.
Mm-hmm.
They'll demand access for themselves and their families.
So we're not just talking about making AI affordable. We're talking about, like, I don't know, a fundamental shift in how we value these advancements, how we ensure that they're seen as like a public good, not just another luxury for the privileged few.
Right. And that connects to another concern. Amodei raises what he calls the opt-out problem.
Okay.
It's not just about access,
right,
but about those who might choose to forego the benefits of AI altogether.
Okay, this is interesting. We haven't really dug into this side of things yet.
Right.
Who are these people?
Right.
And why would they opt out of something potentially so beneficial?
It's a diverse group with complex reasons.
Okay.
Some might distrust the technology due to misinformation or religious beliefs. Others might simply fear change, especially such rapid change, and prefer the familiar, even if it means missing out on life-changing advancements.
It's almost like a self-imposed disadvantage.
Yeah, you could say that.
And as AI becomes more integrated into society, those who opt out could find themselves increasingly left behind, right?
Exactly. It's not hard to imagine a scenario where access to education, healthcare, even job opportunities hinges on engagement with AI in some way.
Which creates a whole new set of challenges.
It does.
It's not enough to just develop these incredible advancements.
You're right.
We also need to address the underlying reasons why some people might reject them.
And Amodei sees a critical role for education here.
Okay.
Clear, honest communication about AI, both its risks and its potential. It's about building trust and ensuring that everyone feels included in this technological revolution. Not just the early adopters or tech elite.
Of course. But even if we address these issues of access and adoption, there's another layer of concern that Amodei doesn't shy away from the impact of this compressed 21st century on the very meaning of work.
It's a big one.
Right, because if AI is automating so many jobs, what happens to our sense of purpose, our place in the world? Are we all destined to become like those pampered pets, completely reliant on our AI overlords?
Well, Amodei actually pushes back against this idea that our worth is solely defined by our economic output. By how much we can produce or achieve in a traditional sense. He argues that meaning comes from many sources. Relationships, creativity, personal passions, even just the simple joy of experiencing life itself. And in a world where AI takes care of many of the necessities, we might have even more time and freedom to explore those other avenues of fulfillment.
It's like shifting from a culture of productivity to a culture of possibility.
I like that.
Where we're free to pursue what truly interests us, what brings us joy, without the pressure of economic necessity. But that raises another question. Economics. If AI is doing most of the work, how do we ensure everyone benefits from this abundance, rather than just the select few who own the AI?
So Amodei acknowledges that the traditional economic models, based on scarcity and competition, might need a serious rethink in this compressed 21st century. He talks about the need for a more equitable distribution of resources, perhaps through something like a global wealth tax, or a system where AI itself helps to manage and distribute the abundance it creates.
So it's not just about humans redistributing wealth. It's about designing AI systems that are inherently more equitable, that prioritize the well-being of all people, not just profit margins.
That's right.
It's a huge challenge, but also an incredible opportunity.
It really is.
To rethink our relationship with work, with wealth, with each other.
Exactly. And that's what makes Amodei's vision of a compressed 21st century so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not some utopian fantasy where technology magically solves all our problems.
Of course.
It's a call to action, a challenge to step up and actively shape this future.
Right.
To ensure that it reflects our values, our aspirations for a better world.
It's a future that's both exhilarating and a bit daunting.
Yeah.
Full of possibilities and potential pitfalls.
For sure.
But as Amodei reminds us, it's not predetermined.
It's not.
It's a future that all of us have a hand in creating.
That's true.
Through the choices we make today.
It's true.
So what role will you play?
That's the question.
That's something to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive into Dario Amodei's bold vision of the future.
It's a good one.
We'll leave you with that thought and a gentle reminder to subscribe for more mind-expanding explorations at the cutting edge of AI and beyond.
Until next time.
Until next time, keep asking those big questions.
Keep learning.
Keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and most importantly, keep learning.